The phone buzzed on the coffee table, its vibration slicing through the quiet hum of the apartment like a scalpel. My heart lurched before I even saw the screen. It was 9:17 p.m., and the dim glow of the TV cast flickering shadows across the room, painting the walls in shades of unease. I reached for the phone, my fingers brushing the cold glass, and there it was, her text. "I'll be staying at Jason's tonight, don't wait up." The words hit like a punch to the gut, stealing my breath, leaving my chest tight and hollow. I stared at the screen, the letters blurring as my pulse thundered in my ears. My reply was a single word, typed with trembling fingers, "Okay." The apartment felt smaller now, the air thick with the scent of leftover takeout, and the faint tang of her lavender perfume lingering on the couch. I sank into the cushions, the fabric rough against my palms, and tried to piece together what her message meant. Jason. Her coworker. The guy with the easy smile, and the kind of confidence that made you feel like you were always a step behind. They'd been working late on that project for weeks, meetings that stretched past midnight, her phone buzzing with his name at odd hours. I told myself it was nothing. Work was work. But now, her words sat heavy in my mind, each syllable a splinter under my skin. I scrolled through our texts, searching for clues I might have missed. Her messages from earlier today were cheerful, normal, grabbing coffee, love you. Meeting ran long, ugh. Nothing out of place. But then 2 weeks ago, there was that odd moment, her phone face down on the counter, her quick grab when I reached for it to check the time. "It's just work stuff," she'd said, her voice a shade too sharp. I'd laughed it off, ignored the twist in my stomach. Now that moment replayed in my head, vivid as a film reel, her hazel eyes darting away from mine. The clock ticked louder, each second a hammer against my skull. I stood, pacing the hardwood floor, my bare feet sticking slightly to the cool surface. The city outside hummed, car horns, distant laughter, the faint wail of a siren. Normal life. Oblivious to the crack forming in mine. I poured a glass of water, the liquid sloshing against the sides, but my throat stayed dry. My mind churned, conjuring images I didn't want to see. Her laugh, bright and unguarded, aimed at him. Her hand brushing his arm during a late-night meeting. The two of them alone, somewhere, while I sat here like a fool. I typed out a dozen messages, each one angrier than the last. "Why Jason's? What's going on? Are you serious right now?" But I deleted them all. Instead, I called her. The phone rang once, twice, then went to voicemail. Her voice, warm and familiar, filled my ear. "Hey, it's Lena. Leave a message." The beep felt like a door slamming shut. I hung up, my grip tight enough to make the phone creak. The rational part of me tried to take control. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe Jason's place was closer to the office, and she was too tired to drive home. Maybe it was just a couch, a quick nap, nothing more. But the other part, the part that noticed how she'd been distant, how her hugs felt perfunctory, how her laughter didn't reach her eyes anymore, whispered darker truths. I grabbed my jacket, the leather cool against my skin, and headed for the door. I didn't know where I was going, but sitting still wasn't an option. The city streets were alive, neon signs buzzing, the air sharp with autumn chill. I walked past bars spilling music and couples leaning close under streetlights, their intimacy a cruel contrast to the storm in my chest. My phone stayed silent, mocking me with its stillness. I found myself outside a diner, its windows fogged with warmth, the smell of greasy fries wafting out. I went in, slid into a booth, and ordered coffee I didn't want, just to have something to hold. The waitress, an older woman with kind eyes, set the mug down. "Rough night?" she asked, her voice soft but knowing. I nodded, unable to muster words. The coffee burned my tongue, grounding me in its bitterness. I stared at the table, tracing the scratches in the formica, and let my mind spiral. Lena and I had been together for 3 years, 3 years of late-night talks, shared dreams, her head on my chest as we planned a future. Was it all a lie? Or was I overreacting, letting paranoia poison everything? My phone buzzed. Not Lena, Jason. A photo, sent to our group chat from work. Him and Lena, smiling, arms around each other, a half-empty bottle of wine on the table between them. The caption, "Late-night brainstorming session." My stomach twisted, bowel rising. The diner's fluorescent lights seemed to flicker, the hum of conversation turning to static. I zoomed in on the photo, searching her face. Her smile was wide, but her eyes, were they tired? Guilty? Or was I projecting my fear onto every pixel? I texted her again. Saw the photo. What's going on? No response. The coffee grew cold, the mug heavy in my hands. I paid and left, the bell above the door jangling like a warning. Back on the street, I walked faster, my breath visible in the night air. I needed answers, but the thought of confronting her terrified me. What if she admitted it? What if she didn't, and I was left doubting her forever? I ended up at Jason's apartment building, a sleek high-rise that screamed money. I'd been here once, months ago, for a team happy hour. The lobby was all glass and chrome, cold and unwelcoming. I stood outside, staring up at the lit windows, wondering which one was his. My phone buzzed again. Not a text, but a call. Lena. I answered, my voice unsteady. Hey, she said, her tone casual, too casual. You okay? Am I okay? The words came out sharper than I meant. You're at Jason's, Lena. What's going on? A pause long enough to make my heart race. It's just work, Matt. We're finishing the presentation. I didn't want to drive home so late. Work. I repeated, the word tasting like ash. With wine? A sleepover. Another pause. It's not like that, she said, but her voice cracked just slightly. You're being paranoid. Then why didn't you tell me earlier? Why the cryptic text? I didn't think it was a big deal. Her tone rose, defensive. God, Matt, why can't you trust me? I wanted to believe her. Every part of me ached to. But the photo, the late nights, the way she'd been pulling away. It all added up to something I couldn't ignore. I'm outside, I said quietly. Come down. Now. Silence. Then, you're what? I'm here, Lena. I need to see you. The call ended. Minutes dragged by, each one heavier than the last. Finally, the lobby doors opened, and there she was, her coat thrown over her sweater, her hair messy, eyes wide with something. Fear? Guilt? She stopped a few feet away, arms crossed. Matt, this is crazy, she said, but her voice trembled. You didn't need to come here. Then explain it, I said, stepping closer. The streetlight caught the sheen of tears in her eyes. Explain the photo. Explain why you're here, why you didn't tell me. She looked away, her jaw tight. It's not what you think. Then what is it? My voice broke, raw with desperation. Because I'm losing my mind, Lena. I love you, and I'm standing here feeling like an idiot. Her shoulders sagged, and when she met my gaze, her eyes were wet. I didn't mean for this to happen, she whispered. It was just one time. One stupid night. I was drunk, and Jason was there, and the world tilted. Her words were a blade, slicing through 3 years of trust. I stumbled back, the pavement cold under my feet. One time. I choked out. You're here now, Lena. It's not like that tonight, she said quickly, reaching for me. I pulled away. I swear, Matt, it was a mistake. I love you. I didn't know how to tell you. I stared at her, the woman I thought I'd marry, and saw a stranger. The wind howled, carrying the distant sound of a car alarm. My chest ached, a mix of rage and grief so intense I could barely breathe. You should have told me, I said, my voice low, final. Not him. Me. I turned and walked away, her voice calling after me, fading into the night. The city swallowed me whole. And I let it, knowing nothing would ever be the same.